I've been noticing that the Thai baht has been decreasing rather consistently, like over the last like 3 to 4 weeks. For example, our rent in Thailand is 23,000 baht. I would say the last week of February, on the USD conversion, that 23,000 baht equated to around 742 to 745 USD. It may have went to around 749, but it wasn't higher than that. So it was bubbling, in the mid 740s on the USD conversion. Just now, right, that same 23,000 baht equates to 697 USD, guys. On the conversion, that same 697, let's say 695 to 700 USD range would be equitable to around 21,500 to 22,000 baht just a couple months ago. People attempting to get the DTV, the 500K baht, requirement, shows a difference with the USD conversion as well, right? 4 or 5 weeks ago, 500K baht would equate to about 15,800, 15,900. That same 500K baht is flowing around $15,150 or so. So it could get well under 15,000, guys, with that 500K baht requirement for a long-term visa. A couple reasons, right? It's just spreading awareness. It's just cool to talk about how things, kind of change in short term, and how things change over time. I know that, a year and a half to 2 years ago, like at the time that the DTV was kind of introduced, the 500K baht requirement for the DTV was floating around 14,000 USD on the conversion. Over the last couple months, I would say like over the last like 5 to 6 months, up until March, essentially, of this year, it was flowing around 16K. So you saw that the baht was strengthening due to tourism and expat, activity, right? Foreigner activity coming into the country. But really since the end of last year, I would say November, December, and definitely at the height of 2026, that's been changing. The pressure of trying to increase tourism has, surfaced. Oil and gas always plays a role throughout most of the world, right? The constraints with some of the Cambodian and Thailand, discrepancies and stuff like that puts pressure on the baht. The influx of foreigners and expats alike going to nearby countries like Vietnam. Some people are bubbling in Malaysia a little bit. Some people are bubbling to Laos. The Philippines is high contended to be, for people moving in, right? Places like that has a lesser requirement for both a short-term stay or short-term non-visa tourist stay and a long-term visa tourist stay. They have, less requirements. So outside of just basic like costs or spending, opportunities to save on spending opportunities there, it's easier to transition and live in other countries, or just as easy like Thailand, I would say, right? It's all perspective, right? So, the USD is shows to strengthen, its influence with spending power, and all those, other things that I've mentioned. It's a good time for people, to make that move. I know there's a lot of people, especially on my family channel, who are looking to pivot to Thailand within the next 3, 6, or even 12 months. You may find yourself a great deal, especially as we enter the off season, right? The Thai baht will keep decreasing, although there's still a lot of people moving into the country. There's still a lot of people, presenting themselves in an egress out the country, right? Due to visa issues, due to, cost of living, misconduct or budget insecurities, whatever you call it or name it, that, affects the country's GDP and stuff like that, their economics. You know, tourism is a huge part, if not the major player in Thailand's economy, or at least it has been. It's really a good time to come out to Thailand, guys, whether it's for a short-term stay or whether it's to, you know, move and relocate. You could get, you know, probably some of the best deals, especially as the Thai baht continues to kind of decrease. And it means, you know, as long as your currency is, you know, fortunately and unfortunately based on the Western side, right? If you're coming from Europe, coming from the United States, things of that nature. Australia is another one too, you know, so places like that. I saw that, you know, currently, that conversion is based on a 32.88, basically Thai baht to USD, if that makes sense. To 1 USD, sorry, and I'll put the conversion somewhere right here. I read that it may drop further into the 34 to 35, you know, baht range to 1 USD. So there's a lot of spending power that can soon happen, especially if we're talking about, you know, people coming in for the Sagwan Festival, and excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, right? The water festival that's big in Thailand going into next month. It may even dip farther, or you may have even more negotiating power, like I said a couple minutes ago, like as you get closer to like the off season, especially if you're looking to purchase or rent something, right? I really think it's interesting just to see how that stuff kind of toggles, because guys, like, conversion rates are big, you know. It could hurt you or it could benefit you if you're doing things at the right time, especially in a place like Thailand. So I just wanted to share that. I want you guys to look at that information yourself. So I'm just like here just to throw some stuff at you guys, but Google it yourself, chat GPT it, talk to somebody who's experiencing that change. Always get the best deal that you can. Even in the States, I try to never go for listing prices. You know, it's just economics, it's business. Any type of demand shows insecurity to, you know, stabilizing, you know, a purchase, right? Funds, you know, like, so there's always some sort of demand going on, and you could always get, you know, the best bang for your buck, especially if you're coming, you know, overseas or living abroad. Just want to share information for you. You may find some of the best deals within these next couple months, next couple weeks, guys. If it's your first time going to Thailand, you know, make it happen sooner rather than later. You can start saving a lot of that, you know, money, or just saving on opportunity cost. Check it out, guys.